Hi students, in today's session we are going to discuss about reproductive health. Reproductive health பாத்தீங்கன்னா உங்களோட textbookல last இருக்கக்கூடிய concept in the topic how do organisms reproduce. So in the particular part of that unit reproductive health and partலேருந்து கண்டிப்பா every year in the board examination at least 1 or 2 questions come out. So, in the concept pathina, your textbook it is just some 1.5 pages concept. So, what are all the possible questions that they might ask and how you have to relatively answer in the next session. See, reproductive health. Already health and 9th neenga padichirkeenga. Disease illama irukadhu mattum health illa, it is also physical, mental and social well-being ellame nalla irukradhu dhaan health. So, reproduction the same concept applies. So, idhila in the health consequences related to having sex. Idu ennan paathona two major categories you can have it divided. The first category is when people tend to have sex, transmitted diseases might occur. Sexually transmitted diseases edhanala occur agudana due to the physical contact between any two persons. See, normally physical contact illamale rendu perku nadulla through airborne or waterborne and many diseases spread aadhukku chances irukku. Physically, if in case the contact is available, immediately the disease causing organisms will get spread illiya. So that idea is called sexually transmitted diseases. Apart from that, having sex leads to pregnancy. Pregnancy is most wanted in countries where there is a very low population, but unwanted pregnancies should have to be avoided by each household as well as the country. So, pregnancy related concepts we will be seeing. So, first let us have a look at sexually transmitted diseases. Possible question is, what are sexually transmitted diseases? Name a few. Diseases that are caused by different pathogens. Pathogens, see, it could be either a bacteria or a virus which is causing this disease. Bacterial diseases such as gonorrhea and syphilis and viral infections such as AIDS, genital warts are transmitted by sexual contact with a healthy person. If a disease affected person, அதாவது இந்த bacteriaஸோ இல்ல virusஓ யாராவது bodyல இருக்கு and that person has been infected by such an infection, that person, if he has a sexual contact with a healthy person, then these pathogens which actually reside in the vagina, urethra, anus, etc., which are the regions which are taking part in the sexual process, then obviously these pathogens tend to get transmitted to this healthy person. இது எப்படி நம்ம avoid பண்ண முடியும்? How can we prevent sexually transmitted diseases? அப்படின்னு பார்த்தீங்கன்னா இது physical contactனால நடக்கிறது இல்லையா? So physical contact avoid பண்றது during sex, that prevents these sexually transmitted diseases. So அதுக்கான example given in your textbook is using a covering called condoms for the penis during sex will help to prevent sexually transmitted diseases to some extent. Not completely. Okay. So, either totally prevent panano அப்படின்னு சொன்னா sexual act should have to be avoided with a person who is actually having an infection. So, this can be done if in case more than one person oda sexual contact illama irukkuradhu. Okay. So, the 2 points that they have given to you to prevent sexually transmitted diseases in your textbook are these two. Physical contact avoid பண்றதுக்காக usage of condoms. And the second one is avoiding sexual contact with more than one person will help reduce or prevent these diseases. So in this topic, this can be asked as either a 2-mark question or a 3-mark question. 3 mark na in the rendu partiyum together they'll ask. And it is very important for you to memorize these words. Bacterial infections either, viral infections either. This is being asked as a part of 3 mark. 1 mark la keppanga. Part of 3 mark la they might ask this. Next, we are going to discuss about how to avoid unwanted pregnancy. See, sexual act will lead to pregnancy. In some cases, it is required for a person to become pregnant. But some of the cases, The person doesn't want to become pregnant even under a sexual act. So, you call them as birth control measures or contraceptive measures. These are measures taken by the individuals to avoid unwanted pregnancy. So, இதில பாத்தீங்கன்னா 3 major categories இருக்கு. ஒன்னு mechanical barrier, the second one is hormonal, the third one is surgical. Mechanical na, it is some kind of material covering னு சொல்லலாம். So, that material will prevent the sperms from reaching the egg. Sperms உள்ள போறது avoid ஆயிடுச்சுனாலே, in that case, the sperm will not reach the egg and the fertilization will not happen. Thereby, pregnancy can be avoided. இல்லையா? So, in the mechanical barrier or the material barrier such as, first one is condoms. Condoms வந்து, it is being worn by the men on the penis. Penis is the point where the outcome of sperms come. இல்லையா? So, அந்த இடத்துல when this mechanical barrier has been worn, the sperms will not get inside the uterus. Next one is diaphragm. Diaphragm, this is a covering which is worn by the women on the vagina. This is also to prevent the sperms from entering. Next one is copper T. This is a contraceptive device which is owned by women to prevent pregnancy. This is actually advised by the doctors and doctors do this. Okay. So this is contraceptive device copper T and this is also a mechanical device. Next one is hormonal. Hormonal category la pathina by taking in pills. Oral contraceptive pills. Either சாப்பிட்டாங்கன்னா, in that case, hormonal balance of the body will get changed. So, hormones தான் actually they control the release of eggs, இல்லையா? So, அந்த hormone ஓட control மாறும்போது, what happens? The egg will not be released. Egg release ஆச்சுனா தானே fertilization will occur. So, egg release ஆகிற cycle control பண்ணா, in that case, fertilization ஓட occurrence will be very minimal. So, hormonal changes the hormone balance, thereby eggs are not released and thus fertilization is prevented. Last one is surgical. Surgical la pathina two types irukku, tubectomy and vasectomy. Tubectomy is done in female. Tube, fallopian tube. Tubectomy la the tube it relates to what? Fallopian tube. And the fallopian tube renda cut panni again they'll stitch it back together. So what will happen when you cut something is together, இது வழியா தான் the egg should have to pass. ஆனா இந்த இடத்துல cut பண்ணி நான் இந்த இடத்துல stitch பண்ணிட்டேன்னா, what will happen? The passage of the eggs is getting avoided. So the egg will not reach the uterus. Correct? So this method is called tubectomy, which is actually preventing the egg from getting released. Next one is vasectomy. Vasectomy, as the name implies, it's vas deferens. Vas deferens is a tube that is available in the male reproductive system. Ilya? That vas deferens which is present in the male, that is being blocked. So once that is blocked, that is the passage actually which brings the sperm into the urethra. Ilya? So that passage is being blocked. That tube has been cut and tied. In that case, what will happen? Transfer of sperms is getting prevented. So, sperm oda exit is getting prevented nalo, kandipa pregnancy can be avoided. The last part of this topic pathona, prenatal sex determination is prohibited by law. Why? This is an important 2 or 3 mark question repeatedly asked. Prenatal sex determination, adada even before the child is born, determining its sex. This has been prohibited by law. Why? ஏனா நம்ம கண்ட்ரிலே தெரியும் earlier and all, if in case they detect it is a female fetus, child ன்னு சொல்லக்கூடாதுமா, fetus சொல்லணும், because it is there inside the womb of the mother. So அந்த மாதிரி ஒரு female fetus பார்த்தாங்கன்னா what will they'll do? They'll actually do a sex selective abortion. Actually sex of the child will be noticeable in the 2nd month itself, nearly 2nd month குள்ளே தெரிஞ்சிரும். So, அப்பயே வந்து scan பண்ணி பார்க்கும்போது, if they find out it's a female fetus and they want to particularly sex selective abortion, அதாவது female இருந்ததுனா abort பண்ணணும் அப்படின்ற மைண்ட் செட்ல if they keep on doing, what will happen to the society? More number of male will be there. Female வந்து கம்மியாயிடும். So, female to male sex ratio will get affected. This should not be affected because 1-for-1 irukano illaya. One male should be there for a female to get married and then proceed on with the family life. But still, if this gets affected, then the country will be at a loss. So, reckless female feticides. Feticides na enama? Killing of fetuses. So, female feticides வந்து avoid பண்றதுக்காக தான் this prenatal sex determination has been prohibited by law. You might ask, ma'am, sex selective abortion na male child kuda abort pannalame. Probably that might have been carried out in some other countries. In our country, we have seen this already happening. If in case it is a female child, they used to abort immediately. They want a male heir in the family. Right? So this child sex ratio, it is declining at an alarming rate in some sections of our society because of such kind of acts such as female feticides. So please remember, in this all these keywords are very important. Prenatal sex determination is prohibited is the question. This prenatal means before the baby is born. When it is a fetus, அப்பயே sex determine பண்றது தான் prenatal sex determination. So you have to write the keyword sex selective abortion of female fetuses is being done, which is affecting female to male sex ratio. This is an important keyword. This female feticide in the word, it's important, right? So all these points in point wise neenga koduthalum sari illa actual concept explain pannalum sari, but these keywords are very important to be explained when they ask this question. The last one, why is expanding human population a major concern? See, depending upon the marks you have to explain for this one. Human population jaasti aradhu yen or prachana because the country cannot manage so many people together. Also, a simple family cannot manage. See, or family irukku, they have some 5 children and there is another family just with 1 or 2 children. Which family will be able to provide a proper standard of living to its kids? 5 children irukka family la, and the 5 children proper ana schooling, proper dresses or proper care about them eduthuka mudiyuma? No, not possible. If it's 1 or 2 kids, obviously and the kids ku thevayana vishayangal throughout their growth period, avanga thevayana content and not alone the financial aspects, even mentally and socially being along with the kid. That is possible only when it is 1 or 2 kids. 5 pasanga irukumbodhu the parents cannot spend their time with their kids as well, illaya? So poor standards of living will come into existence if in case the population increases. So in the question kekumbodhu related to standard of living, you have to explain the concept. Ipa idhula one another important idea that I want to discuss is, a question is being asked repeatedly and students are repeatedly giving wrong answers for that. That is relevant to avoid pregnancy. If the question is asked about avoiding pregnancy, the person should have to answer with all these 3 methods. Whereas, when a question is asked about bacterial infection, viral infection or generally sexually transmitted diseases, how can you prevent it அப்படினு கேட்டாங்கன்னா, அப்ப you have to bring in only about the mechanical barrier, which is the condom, right? So some students I have seen preventing sexually transmitted diseases ku avoiding pregnancy ku vara and the 3 headings la irukra concepts ellathiyum eluduvanga. So make sure you don't do that mistake. So we have come to the end of this topic, and as I've told you, every year in the board they ask at least one question from this topic. So make sure you're thorough with this one single page of your textbook. Thank you, students.